It is Fantasy Rugby World Cup time, and I want you to come and take me on in my league. Well, actually, our league, because I'm doing this with Rich from the Rugby Analyst channel, who I've done loads of great collaborations with over recent months, and we're coming together again with our joint fantasy league, details for which are right there on your screen. I'll leave them there throughout as well. When you've set up your team, pop that code in and come and add yourself to our league. Prizes up for grabs and bragging rights, because you could show me and Rich up for how little we actually know about rugby and how big-brained you are when it comes to the egg-shaped ball. We will see. So let me go over to rugbyworldcup.com. While I'm doing that, just please, if you haven't already, hit subscribe on the channel. I'm going to be out in France. I'm going on Tuesday, and I'm there for 7 weeks. So loads of great content is going to be coming during the World Cup. And hit that little thumbs up button as well. It tells other people I exist. It helps the algorithm and all that. And yeah, it's just me here on this channel, and I want to let as many people know that I'm here and I'm talking about rugby, the sport we love. And yes, rugbyworldcup.com. It's the official fantasy rugby channel, fantasy rugby game. And you have to pick 15 players. You have 100 credits to do it. And as you can see, the most expensive players are, well, Finn Russell, Johnny Sexton, Richie Mwanga, and Matthew Jalabert. 13 credits, a big chunk, a big hole in that 100. So you've got to balance your books here. And there are scores for tries, for assists, for goal, kicks at goal, for offloads, line breaks, line out steals, turnovers. There's negative points for cards and for missed kicks. So have a look at the rules. I'm just going to flag up one of the rules of the game, and that is that you can make as many transfers as you want through the tournament, week to week, round to round. So you're not stuck with a player for the whole duration. You can if you want. But my strategy here is just to focus on the opening weekend. And some of the matchups I really like for the opening weekend are Ireland up against Romania and Italy up against Namibia. Those are pretty favourable games for those two nations. So when I look at my team, I'm going to start straight away with my main man, the conductor at fly half, Paolo Garbisi, 8.5 credits, much cheaper than some of the, Finn Russell, brilliant player, cost you 4.5 more. I'm also going to take a couple of Italy's outside backs because they're up against Namibia, Monty Ioane and Ange Capuozzo. If Italy play anything like they can, a real attacking-minded team anyway, up against Namibia, I think that should be points. And you're only allowed to have 3 players from any individual team during the pool stage. So that is Italy. That's my Italy options exhausted. And the other matchup I like the look of is Ireland. You can see the 3 Italians there. I've got Monty Ioane, Ange Capuozzo, Garbisi. But Ireland, I love the look of Gary Ringrose, sometimes dubbed Wing Rose, because he gets operated on the wing, but he is really the only out-and-out outside centre in the Ireland squad. I expect him to start, and I expect him to be a key player for England, and hopefully for me, fingers crossed, score big. I'm going to take James Lowe as well. Ireland go coast to coast, find the edges, and I think James Lowe could, in his first World Cup, he'll be absolutely buzzing. I think he could be box office. So I've almost got my back line picked. The other centre, well, no, I'm going to... The other Irish player, firstly, I want to take is in the forwards, because Ryan Baird, this might seem an unusual pick. So here's my thinking. Ryan Baird is listed as a lock, operates quite a lot in the back row, and I think he will get minutes in those opening couple of games for Ireland, up against Romania, and then who have they got? They're up against Tonga the following weekend. Even half an hour of Ryan Baird, I think, could be worth a lot of points. He's a rangy runner, gets out into the wide channels, and when tired defences are there, I think he could, he's got sprinter speed, so I think he could be worth some points. But it's worth also remembering, I can change my team up until kickoff. So you'll see there's a thing here that says selected to play. When the teams start getting announced, you'll be able to see, has my player in my team been picked? If not, you might want to make a change. So maybe I'll make a change with Ryan Baird later when the teams get announced. But for now, very happy with him as a lock. And that is also, as you can see, 3 Irishmen and 3 Italians in my team. So one other country just to focus on. And again, I'm not doing this by player so much as I'm doing it by country. Australia, I look at them and their matchups. Georgia in the opening weekend. Georgia are a much trickier outfit than Romania or Namibia, but I back Australia to do quite well. And I want to take their 2 props, because less so because, well, Georgia are a very good scrummaging team, but Angus Bell, that is a guy who just gets his hands on the ball a lot and is dangerous with it. And so is Taniela Tupou, who may potentially not start, but again, I may make a change later, but as 2 props, potentially worth points for their ball carries and their work off, out of the scrummaging. I like those 2 picks. And another Australian, because I like that matchup, is Bobby V. Bobby V. Rob Valentini is in my team. And there we go. I have got 8 guys picked, 4 of my pack, 5 of my back line, and I've still got 40 credits left in my budget. So another lock then. I'm jumping around a little bit here, but let me show you my thinking. Another lock. You see the most expensive lock, Ebenet Sabeth, 9. It's quite expensive, and he's up against Scotland first round, who are a good team. I still think South Africa will probably edge that one, but what I like is the look of Marcos Kremer, because like Ryan Baird, he's a back row that's been listed as a lock. That means he's more likely to get to breakdowns first and win turnovers. He's more likely to be free out of the tight 5 to make more ball carries. I like Marcus Kremer, and his value at 6 I think is good. So Marcus Kremer and his Argentinian compatriot at hooker, in terms of try score, and there's a lot of points for try scored, I have to think Julian Montoya, that guy, he just scores tries and he plays a lot of minutes for Argentina, albeit they're up against England. And there are easier games in that pool for not much easier the way England are playing, but and I haven't picked a single Englishman yet. Not sure I will either. But there we go. So I've got 4 players left to pick: a scrum half, a centre, and 2 loose forwards, and I have got 26.5 in order to do it. Let me get those loose forwards out the way then. Charles Olivon. He's up against New Zealand in that opening game, but the way France play, Charles Olivon always seems to be on Antoine Dupont's shoulder when he makes a break, and he's just an all-action guy. Line-out jumper as well, which could mean he gets line-out steal points. I like Charles Olivon. Well, I love Charles Olivon. He also makes my team much, much better looking. Devilishly handsome man. And I'm going to take Lavani Bottia as well as a loose forward from Fiji. Lavani Bottia, only 6 credits he costs me, meaning I've still got 13.5 with scrum half and centre to pick. But again, hoping he starts for Fiji. He's an absolute baller, and he may even end up playing centre at some point. He's got that in his locker as well. So then, two picks left. I've got, as I say, 13.5 credits left for a scrum half. And strange pick, perhaps. I'm going Thomas Williams. Wales, I've got Fiji in the opening game, which is a real tough game. Thomas Williams, I actually expect to play quite a lot of minutes. He's actually cheaper than Gareth Davis, his Welsh teammate. I expect Thomas Williams to start, but maybe that's one I might look at when the teams actually get announced. Is there anyone else I fancy? But that leaves me with 7.5 in the bank, 1 centre to pick, and the centre that I'm going to pick is a captain, and he's an absolute baller. Nyatha Levu, the Fijian captain. He benefits, right, so Semi Randrandra, let's have a look at centre, is 10. He costs you 10 to Semi Randrandra. A lot of people have picked him, but I'm thinking outside centre and outside of Semi Randrandra, who's going to be on his shoulder when Semi makes a break? Nyatha Levu. Love it. So that is my team. Let's go through it again. Angus Bell and Taniela Tupou are my props, both Australian. Julian Montoya at hooker. Ryan Baird and Marcus Kremer, 2 back rowers in the second row. Bobby V, Lavani Bottia, Charles Olivon, Thomas Williams and Paolo Garbisi, Monty Ioane, Gary Ringrose and Nyatha Levu as my centres, with a back 3 of Monty Ioane, James Lowe and Ange Capowatso. Loving that. I think I'm going to nail it. There you go. And once you've picked your team, you need to go and add to a league when you enter your team. And the code you need to put in when you add your team to a league is that right there. I've done it. I'm in the Eggchasers League. Can I see my leagues? There we go. Let me go back to this. There's my leagues. I'm automatically entered into an England fan league. There's quite a lot of people there. And look at that. Nearly 200 people already in the RugbyAnalyst Eggchasers League. It's going to be fierce, I reckon. There's the league right there. Hello to all the people there. Dougie, nice one. First in. Ryan, big brain. There's me at the bottom. Eggchasers Rugby. So there's 200 people waiting. You can invite, copy the code, send it to your mates so they get stuck in as well. And there we go. The Rugby Analyst League with Eggchasers. I'm hoping I'm going to see you there. Hoping I'm going to see you on plenty more videos on this channel, and hit subscribe so you can. I'll see you on the next one.